I feel privileged and honored to be part of today's gathering of strategic partners, stakeholders, and practitioners convened by the Jamaican Foundation for Lifelong Learning, whose national and regional leadership and reputation in the promotion of literacy and lifelong learning agenda has been remarkable and largely acknowledged in many international arenas. To celebrate this 5 decades-long journey of tremendous progress across the world, including in the Caribbean region, UNESCO Director General Irina Bokova launched an event today in Paris themed Reading the Past, Writing the Future, aiming at reviewing achievements, lessons learned, challenges, and exploring innovative solutions to further boost literacy and lifelong learning in future within the context of the target of Sustainable Development Goal 4, which stipulates that by 2030, all youth and a substantial proportion of adults, both men and women, should achieve literacy and numeracy. In line with the focus of your Power Breakfast event, commemorating the 50th anniversary of the International Literacy Day in Jamaica, notably to foster partnerships and networking opportunities, I am pleased to announce the formal launch today in Paris by UNESCO Director General of the Global Alliance for Literacy, GAL, which will be used as a new vehicle at global level to help scaling up resources mobilization, investments, and to promote innovative solutions with special attention on closing persistent gender gaps and harnessing new information and communication technologies. We believe this new mechanism will help channeling expertise and resources for developing countries in particular to be able to provide literacy and lifelong learning for the estimated 758 million adults in the world, mostly women, who are still illiterate despite our collective significant past investments. I urge Jamaica and countries in the Caribbean to play an active part and take full advantage as members of this initiative. I am equally encouraged to note that Montego Bay and soon Kingston municipalities will be partaking in the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities, which also offers an international platform for policy-oriented dialogue, for know-how and best practices sharing among municipalities as key actors whose potentials have been so far untapped in order to supplement central government funding pressures in the provision of literacy and lifelong learning at local government level. It is not surprising that by virtue of the tremendous investment put together by government and its partners over the past decades, Jamaica has made a leapfrog in achieving higher levels of literacy for 15 and older age people and for 15 to 25 years young people. However, almost like in other parts of the world, where adult women remain still disadvantaged, thus requiring additional efforts by Jamaica and other countries in the Caribbean to absorb them, this country may need also to strengthen its attention to the alarming number of youth adolescents dropping out from formal high schools who would put in jeopardy the positive picture observed in Jamaica up to now. Such efforts may include either preventive measures within schooling system to increase young students' retention or readiness of a non-formal sector to provide attractive, vocational, skill-driven, and flexible lifelong learning opportunities. We do acknowledge this is a concern equally shared by the Ministry of Education, and UNESCO stands ready to explore avenues for mitigating school dropout and challenges in skills development opportunities for young people within the framework of its newly launched special initiative for the Caribbean. Without literacy or sufficient skills to be employed, young adults in particular are quickly subject to frustration, and they are held back from fulfilling their full potential and their communities. as a whole. And they are locked into a vicious circle of poverty that lay the conditions for violence and strife, as has already been mentioned. As the Director General of UNESCO reminded in this morning, quote, illiteracy remains synonymous with exclusion and poverty, and we must turn this around. As per the kind invitation letter of JFLL, UNESCO has been requested to elaborate on criteria and requirements for JFLL eventual access to our funds or grants as one of the United Nations specialized agencies operating in different manner than the traditional funding on bilateral or multilateral cooperation entities. Our comparative advantage lies mostly in the provision of upstream level technical and institutional capacity building, support services, and evidence-based policy development. Based on opportunities and needs, we also substantially support in the sharing and piloting innovative approaches and in assisting countries' institutions in the conceptualization of sound evidence-based proposals for fundraising in order to scale up successfully piloted innovations. The recent Montego Bay Confitea meeting illustrates one of the knowledge-sharing opportunities that UNESCO can leverage. As such, we are catalysts, actors, and honest brokers working on indigenous solutions building on conceptual knowledge of countries' experts. On that note, I would like to invite to watch a short celebratory video about Jamaica's pride in the area of promoting literacy and lifelong learning. Thank you.